Hey, what is going on, guys? This is DK. Back at you with another video here. It's ready on the two-game CSGO main slate on Tuesday. Before I get into the video, if you guys are new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos breaking down NBA, NFL, PGA, and esports daily fantasy sports sites. Esports including Call of Duty, League of Legends, and this one Counter-Strike CSGO. Also, just want to say thank you guys for all support. We're at 3.37 thousand subscribers now on YouTube. Again, if you enjoy this content, would appreciate it if you leave a like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell. Those things do really help me out to continue to grow this channel. If you listen to this on Apple Podcasts, it's just the DK DFS show. The link is in the description below. Would appreciate if you guys leave a 5-star rating there. But yeah, let's with that out of the way, let's jump into the video. Before we get into players and their prices for this two-game slate, what we can do is let's take a quick look back here at Monday's slate. So the 8-game early slate was pretty crazy. On slates like this where there's a couple crazy upsets and even teams winning a map they should not have. And those type of slates usually I'll lose. I'm never into going with a huge underdog. So when all the big underdogs win or play really well, normally I'm not going to do great. You had Mad Lions get 2-0 against Pact. Mad Lions were minus 900 favorites. I guess a separate situation, not even DFS, but I've talked about it a few times now. Not the small underdogs, but betting the huge underdogs in any esport really. CSGO, League of Legends, even Call of Duty, we've seen it. I think it's a profitable strategy. Bet those huge underdogs, not like plus 200 or something, but plus 500, plus 600, right? They're really, really big dogs. We've seen a lot, even CSGO. It seems like whenever there's an enormous dog, there's a 50% chance they win. So it just seems like, again, these the underdogs in esports have a better chance to the big underdogs in esports have a better chance to win than in regular sports, in my opinion. But yeah, Mad Lions, again, they're minus 900 favorites. Did not see that one coming. They got 2-0'd. So that really lurt me. I'll go over my lineup in a sec, but I had Bubshy and a core. So I was basically done right away. Fnatic lost map 1. They actually did come back and win this series. I had Brawl on in my lineup. It was solid. It was really good. But losing map 1, or was it map 2? They lost one of the maps, obviously. I forget. They lost pretty easily. I think it was 16-2. And then the Complexity lost first map to Jalapeno. Complexity was minus 1,200 favorites. So, I mean, I woke up and I saw that. I was like, what is going on with this slate? Dignitas lost. They were, I think, minus 300 favorites. It's just, yeah, one of those slates where I'm not going to cash when crazy stuff like that happens. Now, if I could have avoided the Mad Lion side, then I could have had a shot, right? Well, let's go over it, right? Bubshy in the captain spot and a core. Again, that sunk my lineup right there. Now, I went Blame F. He was one of my favorite plays. And to get him in there, I took a shot on Rush. And I don't like playing Rush at all. Normally, it's a guy I just never play. I was really hoping for the 2-0, right? They were minus 1,200 favorites. If we get that 2-0 bonus, he probably gets me 40, 50 fancy points, which I would have taken all day. But yeah, fortunately, went to 3 maps. And when that happens, those value guys, more often than not, are not going to get you there. I went with Nico as more of a mid-range play. He was pretty solid there. 67 fancy points. Then Brolon was another guy I mentioned. But yeah, it was really those Mad Lions guys that sunk my lineup. Didn't really have a shot there. We can go over the winning lineup here. I believe this is in the $33 tournament. Let's see. Yeah, so the winning lineup here was Nico in the captain spot. Blame F, Searson, Brolon, Xantra, the guy that was my favorite play there on the big side. A big one. Big has been, I don't know. I thought Habu would have been put up a closer fight. It's still, the games were relatively close, but yeah, the big side just looks really, really good. Again, Xantros was my favorite play there. He was actually a little bit more popular than I thought. 44% owned, but still, he had 100 fancy points and Teslas there. So that was the winning lineup in the $33 tournament for the early slate. Let's go over my lineup for the late slate. So a little unfortunate as well. It's just an off day for me for CSGO. Had Floppy in the captain spot. You wanted OC, right? So Floppy was about an even KD, and OC was double positive, like just insane. And those two are very similar plays, right? They're very close in price. It was almost a coin flip for me. Again, normally I just give the edge to Floppy because I just kind of always do. But yeah, we had an outlier performance. OC just went absolutely nuts, whereas Floppy had kind of an off game. If I put OC in my captain spot, obviously it would have been a different story. Now, Calix, this was a different or a weird situation. I mentioned he was one of my favorite plays on the slate for the main slate, but someone hit me up on Twitter. He's like, "Hey, like, you know the Calix situation? Like, are you concerned at all?" And I asked him what he was talking about, and he was playing in London, and he's still stuck in London while everyone else was playing it in U.S. So he was playing at very high ping. Now, I couldn't really confirm this. I was looking at his Twitter. Nothing was really confirming it, but it was like a worrisome. So I even made a tweet about it. I was like, this worries me. Now, I stuck with it. And, NB lost 2-0. So maybe I should have switched him out. But yeah, that was a weird situation for sure. Something, again, stuff like that can happen in esports. Someone, I don't know, they had to play overseas and play in very high ping. They have a severe disadvantage. So, yeah, again, I couldn't confirm it before lock, so I just stuck with it. But unfortunately, again, NB got 2-0'd. Played Floppy with MOTM. He was, him and Sonic, one of the two always seemed to go off. It was MOTM that had a really solid day. Junior for Valley was okay, a little bit disappointing. Then KNGV and TRK was another guy I mentioned, was one of my favorite Valley plays, 60 fantasy points. You'll take that all day. But, yeah, just all in all, recap, it was a frustrating day here for CSGO, for myself. So looking to bounce back here for this short 2-game slate. We have Contact, Complexity minus 500 favorites, and Fnatic and Pact, Fnatic minus 588 favorites. And the pricing on the slate doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You have two of the big underdogs, the most expensive players in the slate, and then you have like the huge favorites, BlameF 8.6, Brolon 8K. So really, if you're playing cash games tomorrow, right, you just do a 3-3 stack with Fnatic Complexity. It's simple. You can fit everyone in really, really easy. For GPPs, that's where I can, consider, if you want to go the 3-3 stack with the two heavy favorites, maybe leave some money on the table to differentiate yourself on a small slate like this. Or use a one-off in one of those underdogs. But, yeah, let's talk about both teams here. Let's start with the pack side. The guy that stands out to me, or who I would take a shot on, again, pricing doesn't really matter a whole lot on the slate, so it's going to be Goofy. He is now the most expensive player at 8.4K, but he's had the best overall stats in this team. He's got good overall numbers to the last 3 months, 0.75 kills per round, 0.66 deaths per round. If you scroll through everyone else on the team, I think a guy like Sobel and Darko are viable as well. If you want to get super contrarian and go a full 3-man stack of Pact, again, we saw huge upsets today. So, sure, anything can happen. Those would be the three I would look to, would be Darko, Sobel, and Goofy. And again, salary really doesn't matter on this slate. You have Darko at 5.6K. Sure, that looks good for his price, but really, you can fit whoever you want in your lineup. So, those three would be the three I would consider if you want to go that stack. I don't think I would go with Menace or Lunatic unless you want to get super contrarian in GPPs. But if I'm already going with the pack side, I'm going to play the players who I think are the best plays because I know they're going to be low owned already. So I don't know if it's necessarily, if you really need to get that contrarian and play the big underdog and then leave money on the table too. So that's kind of my thoughts there. On the Fnatic side, obviously these guys look good, right? Brolon is going to be, him and BlameF are going to be, I don't know, 90% owned each on the slate. It's kind of a dumb slate, the way Draftkings priced it and how, two heavily favored teams. So, yeah, Brolon's obviously, him and BlameF are the two top plays of the day, but everyone knows that, right? So they're going to be the absolute chalk. With Flusha and Crims, those are obviously the next best plays here in Fnatic. They're going to be the next most popular for sure. Crims, 0.68 kills per round, 0.66 deaths per round. Flusha at 0.68 and 0.68, so both hovering around a 1.0. I think the interesting pivot here, again, if you want to leave money on the table, is a guy like JW at 6.2K. Again, everyone's just going to do a 3-man stack. They're going to plug in Brolon, Flusha, Crims, and plug in like the top guys of Complexity, and that's going to be the line. Which I think is fine for cash games, right? I think that's probably the way you do it. But for GPPs, if you want to go the favorites and want to get a little bit different, maybe you play a JW, right? So not as good of numbers, but not too far off of Crims and Flusha, right? 0.65 and 0.67. He's had some good games to the op. He's had games where he's taken over for Fnatic. So he has upside to really do well. So yeah, I like him as a contrarian option on this team. Again, people are just gonna jam in the top 3 guys. Maybe get a little bit different and play JW over one of those 3. Now, if you want to get super contrarian, you could look to Golden. Now, this is a lot more risky of a play because I don't think has as much upside as JW. His numbers are not great, 0.57 and 0.69. So that's one of those, a super contrarian play. And, I guess you never know, right? If they win out 2-0 easily, you could see a decent performance from Golden. But if I was going to get different on the Fnatic side, I think I'd rather play JW than Golden and leaving some salary on the table. Next, let's talk about the complexity and contact game. So obviously the complexity side looks great, right? Blame F, Brolon, they're going to be absolute chalk. But you got to love both those guys. Brolon had a really good game today. Blame F has been, I've just been nonstop talking about him, I feel like, for the last 2 weeks. Just play him and move on. He has been playing unbelievable Counter-Strike. Love Blame F. But again, that's a very, very obvious play. And look at the pricing here on these other complexity guys, right? You have Config at 6. Everyone else is under 7K. They're minus 500 favorites. That's why this slate is. You can really just jam in the top 3 guys in complexity, jam in the top 3 guys in Fnatic, and have a lineup. But yeah, again, love Blame F. Really like Config at 6.8K. I think Obo and Poison are viable as well. Config, Obo, and Poison are 3 pretty similar plays. It's kind of the same situation as Fnatic, right? With JW, Crims, and Flusha. All 3 are pretty similar. I think Config, Obo, and Poison are pretty similar. You can look at their numbers. Obo, 0.71 and 0.62. Poison with the op, 0.69 and 0.62. And then Config, 0.77 and 0.66. So, yeah, Config is a little bit more the aggressive player, right? So he probably is going to be the guy that has the next highest ownership besides Blame F. Obviously, he stands out as a really, really good play. Obo and Poison, again, I think those guys are almost identical plays. Maybe play Poison over Obo to get a little bit different. Rush at 4.8K, I think is in the same scenario as Golden, right? I think that's just more of a super contrarian play. Can he outscore 2 of the guys in complexity, right? If they win. It's a long shot, right? So, yeah, that's like a dart throw in GPPs. I think it's slim chance. I guess anything can happen, right? But, again, he's kind of that same boat as Golden, where I don't even know if I would do it to get really contrarian. And then lastly, let's talk about the contact side. So, we have 2 guys that I kind of consider here. It's AutoND and Esperanto, the 2 guys I mentioned in my previous video. Both have the best numbers on this team. AutoND slightly better than Esperanto, but both pretty solid overall. With Ships, Snappy, and Emmy, I don't think I get to those guys. Even if I'm running a contact stack, I think I only play 2. Because I really want to play Blame F no matter what. In losing efforts still, he has great games. So even if I was going with a contact stack, I think I would only play those top 2 guys. They do have 6 viable plays, but don't play, Emmy, Snappy, and Ships. Don't play Letney, who will not be playing. So I don't know why he's on the Draftkings. He's on the slate, I guess. I'm kind of confused a bit of that. But yeah, on the contact side, right, it's those top 2 guys. If I was going a stack on the side, which I think is viable, right, we've seen big upsets happen today, I think I would only go those 2. So yeah, really this slate is, again, it's simple for a cash game setting, right? You just play Fnatic, you play Complexity. I think it's kind of even dumb to play cash games because everyone's going to have the same lineup. But for GPPs, this is where strategy gets interesting, right? So maybe, again, you're going to have Brolon and Blame F be super, super chalky. Maybe play those guys in the flex spot. Maybe play someone, cheaper in the captain spot to get a little bit different, right? Maybe a Config, Obo, Poison, right? Or one of those Fnatic guys. Or you can just play, Brolon or Blame F in the captain spot and maybe use a one-off in Contact or Pact, right? I mentioned a couple guys I think do have upside. Goofy is definitely my favorite play. Again, price doesn't matter a whole lot, but Sobol, Darko are viable as well. On the contact side, it's basically just Esperanto and AutoND. But yeah, I think that's really going to do it for the video today, guys. So if you have been enjoying the content so far, I'd really appreciate it if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell. Again, hitting the notification bell does help me out to continue to grow this channel. It makes it so you know when I upload videos right away. If you guys are interested in PGA, I will have my video up for that tournament tomorrow. Working my spreadsheet now. Had a really good day for PGA last week. Webb Simpson. I know it was chalky. I guess we'll talk about that more, but he ended up winning it. He was my favorite play. A couple other guys did really well as well. But yeah, that'll be for a video tomorrow. So yeah, be on the lookout for that video, guys. But thanks again for everyone to come and check the video. Hope you guys all have a good night, and I will see you all in the next one.